if technology didn't assist us, but it extended us? What if robotics did not replace human capabilities? It actually amplified them. What if artificial intelligence could translate neural signals into movements and redefine what humans can actually do? Hello, everyone, and welcome back to a brand new episode of Voices Beyond Borders, the podcast where we highlight entrepreneurs, founders, and impact doers who are redefining what it means to be a business owner. Today's guest is not just building an application. He is building the next frontier of human evolution. Manar El Harake, founder and CEO of Astrom, a deep tech company working at the intersection of neurotechnology, robotics, bionics, and AI, with one bold mission: to transcend human abilities. Hi Manar,
هاي
كيفك؟
فرانشيسكو.
Ça va?
Ça va.
Manar, هلا قبل ما نبلش our list of questions or our conversation for today, can you please introduce yourself to our audience? مين بيكون منار؟
هاي أنا منار. I'm the founder of Adstrum Industries.
شو بتكون Adstrom? What are you trying to solve with it?
Okay, so Adstrum Industries هي bionic / robotics / neural interface company. At the core of our technology, we're developing Neurex. Neurex is a neural interface that translates a neuromuscular signal into digital commands. So we have 4 core innovations in Neurex. In simple words, the first one is high definition neuromuscular sensors. In simple terms, what they do is that they capture the electrical signal in the muscles and they decode them. We have also an embedded AI processor that through AI, embedded AI, it analyzes all of those signals and translates them into actions. We also have a mobile app that allows the user to train this system so that it's unique to every individual. Like our signals are unique, my signal are unique from yours. So we have this mobile app as an interface for the users to train the system on their intentions. We also have a bionic hand, which is the Gecko hand. It's a lightweight titanium bionic hand that is also integrated in the Neurex system that allows amputees to pick and place things and control physical environments.
Manar, your vision at Astrom says transcending human limitations. شو قصدكم بهالموضوع؟
So, so for us as human beings, we have always used technology to extend our reach. For example, our mobile phones, they are extension of our cognition, if you want. You can open GPT, you can explore your ideas. So it's always about the extension of our reach. It could be also we can get into plane, go to a different country, we can go to outer space, we can use the microscope, we can see the microscopic words. So we have always used these tools as an extension. And not only now, so for the past 100 and thousands of years, our ancestors have used tools to extend the reach. For example, the first Homo sapiens, if you want to call it, to pick up a stick from the ground and reach an apple from the tree, that's us using tools to extend our reach. And we're not the only species that do that. So for example, we have the spiders. They build webs where they can have sensors when they catch a prey, and they can also catch a prey when they are not there. We have dolphins that have sonars where they can navigate. So for us, it's about building this tool where we are part of nature, using what we do best, which is building tools and technology to extend what we can do. And in our way of doing it is that we are bringing back to amputees the ability to control things. For example, the ability to pick and place object, and also to control any digital device that exists or Internet of Things device that exists.
That's very important. Manar, هون في a quick question بيطرح حاله. Is Astrom mainly about assistance أما augmentation? What is the main problem أما what is the main addition you're trying to add into this?
So Astrom Industries is a bit about both. It's just about the timing. we are starting with a very urgent need, which is about agency, allowing people to get back their independence, allowing people to get back their livelihoods. So people who have lost their limbs, it's not a limb that they have lost. It's first of all, there's a stigma that comes with it, and then there's what you used to do before you lost the limb. So and usually it has to do with work and education. So when we are giving back to people this bionic hand or this neural interface that allows them to control with devices, we're bringing their jobs back, we're bringing their education back, and we're bringing them the agency again. So it's all about agency. And on the long term, what we're working on is for it to be for everybody, not just for people who are living with amputation.
Manar, when you talk about neurotechnology, when you talk about extending humans' ability into the technological world, في كتير عنا بيصيروا okay, maybe this is not ethical عم بيخافوا من هالموضوع. واجهتوا شي هاي المشكلة لهلا و if not أما if yes, what is the main problem اللي انتو برأيكم عم بتواجه Adstrom at the moment?
Yeah, so usually when we talk about technology, people start distinguishing between what is born and what is made. There's always, we made this, thus it's evil. This is electronic, thus it's evil. But at the core, whatever is electricity is nature, like lightning and thunder is nature. So whatever is made is also nature and it's also us. We have made this. We are part of nature. And we should never forget that. And there's this quote by William Shakespeare. So he says, "We know what we are. We know not what way we know what we are. We know not what way we may become." And it shows that we always know what, not who, what we are. And we may become something completely different. So our evolution is something we decide. It's not similar to any other species on the planet. We really decide our evolution. And here comes the other part, which is ethics. And this is why we need to create those protocols, those policies that protect what we are evolving ourselves into. And this is especially why we are now incorporating in France and why we are building in France, because of the regulations that Europe has, because especially in France, how hard it is to be building a technology like this. We went there for the regulations. We want to be regulated. We want to be part of this ethical movement of building, because at the core of Astrom, this is exactly what we want to be building. It's about ethical innovation.
Great. And Manar, you actually هلا دغري انت فتت على my second question. انتو بلشتوا بلبنان و then you هلا recently you did the transition towards Europe, mainly France. How did that transition help you actually push forward the next step in your evolution as Adstrom?
So basically, France was on the map. We always wanted to go to France. We were working on it. And the way we did it is that we won Pre-Entrepreneur by ISA and HSA. And also what I want to highlight is that ISA is one of the very few, if not only institutions in Lebanon that has this broader ecosystem with international community. So, and also the award that we won is also one of a kind in Lebanon. There's no award that's similar to it.
هلا نحكي شوية عنها a bit.
Yeah, so this is where it started. And then when we went to France, we are incubated at HEC Paris, at Station F, which is the biggest startup campus in the whole world. And this changes somehow everything, and it also changes perception. So I'm someone who comes from an unprivileged background, if you want to call it, and I think a lot, like all of Lebanon is somehow unprivileged. And and it's like all of it is full of limitations, whether it's economic, social, or any kind of limitation. And then when you get there, it's a completely different scenario. So, for example, if you want to talk to a lawyer, you have a lawyer in-house. If you want to talk to a regulatory expert, you have one in-house. So whatever kind of expert is available so that you are accelerated to do whatever there's no time wasted in thinking, how can I get to that person? It's just that person is a phone call away and they're going to answer you. So it's a completely like that ecosystem is built so that you can really
That's
build
the power of a regulated ecosystem.
100%. And that's the power of a country that is also thinking how they want to be bringing their ecosystem to challenge with the whole world as well.
Exactly. منار حكينا شوي انت you're the winner of the pre-entrepreneur إذا say 2025 بس بنفس الوقت you're also recognized as a deep tech pioneer by Hello Tomorrow. You've also won the UNDP Business Innovation Award وكمان now you're at Station F. How does this validation, these awards and these recognitions fuel you to do more, to
Yeah.
actually create literally the next evolution of human?
Yeah. So, first of all, building a deep tech or a hardware company, deep tech company, a neurotechnology company that includes robotics as well is a very hard work. And the hardest part about it is that it happens invisibly. No one sees what you're doing. It's very invisible work. And then until you can expose what you are doing, it's like a lot of years has passed. So a lot of motivation really comes from rewards that what you're like on a daily basis, something you have done is right because it's a very hard thing. And usually when something works, you don't expect things to work directly. So when things work, that fuels you. And after years have passed and no one has heard about you, that's also a challenge because we didn't want people to know about us before we did the patents. So when we won the awards, when we got the recognition, it's like it's a very deep fuel because okay, we built something, but when these institutions like Hello Tomorrow, like ISA, HSA, they recognize you. These are very big institutions. They don't recognize you like they
see the
evaluate
potential,
you.
exactly.
They check what you did, and then they do give you the recognition. You're like, okay, that's like that. That's like a slingshot. It pushes you for 10 years to go. So yeah.
منار another potential إذا فينا نقول هون recognition كنت عم تخبرني أنت من شوية إنه investor هلا especially in France they're eyeing you as a top company to invest in بفرنسا in 2026. بالنسبة لك أول شيء why do you think you're being highlighted as one of the top companies to invest in and قد ايه pressure بيزيد عليكم هذا الشيء to continue what you're doing and to actually make it better كمان.
So in terms of, I'm gonna start with the pressure. The pressure is mostly as the promise that we have given. We have a promise to people to bring the agency because when we recognize that we have this potential and ability to bring back amputees independence and agency and the ability to control things, it became a mission. It's not, and especially that we do work with them. We do pilot testing with them. And when we see this becomes a promise. This becomes like I'm never gonna stop doing this. So that's mostly if we and I'm not gonna call it pressure, but that's really the main thing. In terms of the investors and how we are somehow attractive, it's because the human-machine interactions or human-computer interaction is like the next frontier, is the future of technology, and we are there. We have built the MVP. We have users who are testing us. So we did all of this, and it's ready. And people just want to be part of this. They understand how hard it is to develop something like this. They understand all the challenges that come with this, and we have it there. We have also the regulations that are in place. So we're doing everything, if you want to call it as boring as it sounds, but by the book. Yeah.
Actually, that's like at the end of the day, you don't have to be as loud as possible. As long as you're doing the job and people are seeing the job, the work that you're doing, it actually making sense, you will become attractive to them. Manar, بتعتقد إنه we're entering a new era of human enhancement أما human evolution?
We are working towards it.
Okay.
So we are working so that somehow we are enhancing human beings. And yes, I do think that so human beings have always been somehow enhanced, if you want to call it, or under evolution. But what's happening now is that the pace is faster than ever. We have exponential growth rates, especially due to the AI being open to the public. Everybody is using AI now. Like if you go back when we started Astrom Industries, for example, there was no ChatGPT available in the market. So or any language model whatsoever. So now what's happening is that this is in the hands of everybody, regardless of how technical you are, regardless of how much you know about tech itself. Now it's completely language. And I do think that that's the normal way of things. That's how it should be, and that's how it is. It's about giving people access. This is empowering to people.
طيب Manar, you said empowering people. Do you feel as Astrom, as the founder of Astrom, are you empowering people with disabilities? Are you enhancing the already existing human capabilities? الاثنين.
Yeah. So for now, it's both. Sorry. So for now, we're starting with amputees. We're empowering amputees. We want to give them back their ability to work, their ability to do everything that they want to be doing. And this is about equality, actually. So when you look at devices that exist in the market, like the keyboard, for example, we talk about like we use it every day. The mouse, we use it every day, but these are really outdated devices. Like we're talking about something that was invented in the 60s or 50s. Mm-hmm. It's very old. The mouse as well. And all of those technology, all of this technology is not for everybody. It's specific. You need to have a mouse that is specifically similar to how your hand holds it. If you're a left-handed, you need to configure the settings. It is not so good. And what we're doing is that we're developing the technology that is accessible by nature. This is the only piece of, if you want to call it, input device that you need to invent, and then it controls everything. And this is how we're starting for it to be for amputees. But on the long term, this is not for today. We're gonna change industries. So for example, if we have this neural interface that allows you to control things with your intention, then imagine the possibility. Remove the keyboard, remove the mouse, remove the headset as well. You would just be wearing augmented reality glasses, and then you would be interacting with technology in a 3D environment as if you were like just doing things. And you would be placing things in a 3D environment, and this is how you control things.
That's very interesting. And if you said this 10 years ago, can I like this is sci-fi, this is not realistic, but especially now with the evolution of technology, with the rise of AI وكل شيء, what you're saying is actually more realistic than people actually بيعرفوا بهالموضوع. فإذا هلا سألتك إذا you look into the future 10, 15, 20 years from now, how do you see a world that is dominated by Adstrom?
So this vision is actually what really moves us. And as I was talking about the universal neural control device where you're controlling everything, I like to think of it as like your Professor Snape or Dumbledore. You would be in your house, you have Nurex on your forearm, and you'd be like, pew, you turn on the TV, you turn off the lights, you light the candles. All you need to do is built in you. You don't need to have 6 devices to control 6 devices. You just are the device. You control anything you want. It's an extension. You can have the agency and the control for everything around you as one single item. You can be also, for example, a surgeon in New York. You would have a patient in Lebanon. We have our robotic hand that is advanced doing the surgery here. We have Nurex. The surgeon is wearing it, and they are doing the surgery remotely. So that's kind of the world we're trying to see, where humans are augmented, where they are one part with technology, and where technology is actually bringing impact and helping us somehow be the most efficient creatures we could be.
Manar, now I want you to look into your camera here, and I want you to talk directly to everyone who is considering of opening a startup in deep tech. What's like your one advice, one insight, one recommendation that you would tell them?
If I knew how hard it was. So basically, people always wait for the right moment. People always overthink things, especially because we're talking about someone who's trying to build a company. It's not an easy thing to do. It's not something you just jump into. It's something that you need to think over and over again. My advice is that you don't need to think. Maybe a bit about what you want to do, but that's it. Because somehow life has its own way of molding things. All you need to be is a bit flexible and adaptable to be able to continue. And usually things unfold as we walk. So you just need to walk. And I think if you can see where you are going, you are not really making something new or a big impact. It needs to be a bit dark. It needs to be unknown. You are paving a new road, so there's a lot of thorns. There's a lot of rubble on the way. So just start, go ahead, and it's never gonna be the perfect timing.
I love that. One last question. What's next for Adstrom in the next year or two?
Currently, what we're doing is that we are acquiring all the regulatory necessities. So, for example, we're acquiring the ISO certification, quality management system, and we're putting everything in place for it to be as ethical as possible and for it to be as technically accurate as possible. Uh, in the next year, we would have all of that in place, and we would have Nurex as something that is in the market for amputees to experience and for it to be somehow changing their lives and helping them get back what they have lost from the amputation.
Thank you so much, Manar, for being part of Voices Beyond Borders Season 3 and for showing us that technology is not actually about replacing humans. It's about expanding what humans can do and can actually become. Fanjat, thank you so much for sharing your story and expertise with us.
Thank you, Francesco.
And to our listeners and viewers, thank you so much for tuning in to a brand new episode. If you really enjoyed it, make sure to subscribe and to follow us. And I also want to thank our sponsors, the Embassy of the Kingdom of the Netherlands, for their continuous support of stories of impact and big transformation. Until next time, stay safe.